Hello, this is the lecture number 5 in Law and Economics by Professor Seung Han. Today, I'm going to talk about very important concept, just one concept only, that is transaction cost. Why am I saying it's important? Actually, there were two Nobel Prize winners in economics who got Nobel Prize because of they studied transaction cost. The first person who first thought about this concept is the famous Ronald Coase. Ronald D. I forgot D. And his basic idea is negotiation is not free. Okay, we are going to talk a little bit more about that later, why it's not free. But you go to the market, in the market system, free market system, economy, you go to the market. Some merchant says, oh, you can buy this fish at 500 Korean won or $50. And you say, no, 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 that's too expensive. Give me at $30. And then you haggles and things like that. You negotiate. And in the end, okay, he said 45 or something. Okay, so in the market, maybe you go to the department store, maybe you just look at the price and you never even dare to take down the price. But sometimes you say, oh, can you give me some extra benefit, some free things and things like that. So in the market, it's so natural we negotiate before when we are buying something, when we are exchanging, trading something. And this has this very innocent, small kind of negotiation, haggling has enormous effect the whole economy. That's the basic idea. So another person, Oliver Williamson, another professor who got Nobel Prize in 2009, he looked at the inside the firm. His basic question was like this. If you look at the capitalism, the free market economy, whatever you say, at the center of it, the key player is the firms. Okay? The private firms. If you look at any country, there are consumers, whether it's communist country or like a dictatorship, there are consumers all the time. What's the difference between North Korea and South Korea, for example? We have Samsung, LG, SK, and things like that, the private companies. Hyundai Automobile, North side, they have no private companies, just the government company. Okay? And you know that the biggest difference between country like North Korea and South Korea is the private firms for making these great, great products. So everybody nowadays believe the free market is better than central commanding dictatorial economy. And then Oliver Williamson looked at inside the firm. And then he found out the CEO, the boss of the firm, orders his subordinate, like the North Korean leader orders his people. So it's not free market at all. People are doing whatever they are ordered to do. So what is this central economy thing is doing in a free market system? Why the free market ends outside the firm, and when you are looking at the inside the firm, it's like dictatorial system. In other words, if it's a free market, it's like, I talk to my barber, if you comb my hair, I'll pay $20. Then he does that and I do that. I never tell him do this, do that, this afternoon you should not cut the hair, you should clean the room or something like that. I never do that. As long as he cut my hair, I'm paying him. So it's task-based. But if you look at the inside, my boss never tell me like, if you do that, I pay this. If you do that, I pay. He just say, monthly, I'm paying you this much. And from 9 to 5, I tell you to do something, you should do that. So he's buying my time. And during that time, I'm paid for my time because I'm working for him from 9 to 5. And from 9 to 5, I'm doing whatever he wants me to do. So this is not a market system. Virtually, this is, even though he purchased my time, it's not a market, it's dictatorial after once he control my time. And Ronald Coase and Oliver Williamson think, okay, let's look at the inside firms. If you have to negotiate, for example, if I should negotiate my TAs all the time, like I tell my TA, if you prepare this material for my class today, I pay you $10. And he said, no, I don't like it. Maybe yesterday, tomorrow, but not today. I would be big trouble. I have to negotiate every day with my TA whether he can Xerox the material or whether he can erase the blackboard and things like that, or typing something for me. The cost is so big. I mean, itsy bitsy $1, $2 thing I have to negotiate every day with the same person. So in a sense, this small transaction cost would accumulate to be a big thing and may become a deal breaker for me to hire an assistant because I have to negotiate with him or her every day whether he can Xerox it, whether he can type this, whether he can help me bring this heavy stuff. I said, okay, I would rather not hire TAs, okay, or the TA cost so high. So instead of that, the contract should be, okay, I buy your time and we do not negotiate anymore. After that, you just do whatever I tell you to do. So that is so the inside the firm, why people do not use the free market trading system because of transaction cost. That's the theory of Oliver Williamson, and many people who has wondered why inside the firm it's not a free market, I thought, oh, that makes sense. That's why he got Nobel Prize. Okay, TC, the transaction cost. Let's get into more detailed understanding of what transaction cost is. I will compare two negotiations. Negotiation number one, finding out a spouse and getting married. Negotiation number two, buying a potato and making a potato salad. Two things are involved with some negotiation. Let's begin with easier one. Which do you think is easy? Potato. You should buy potato somewhere. Do you have any idea where you can find that potato? Think it over. Let's think about getting married. Wow, if you're a man, you have to have a proper wife. If you're a girl, you have to meet a proper husband. Find out. Which is more difficult? Finding a proper potato or finding a proper spouse? I don't know, but in my case, finding a proper spouse was much harder. And then, okay, when you meet a potato, or probably it's a market, you go there and try to get the potato. Well, you said, it's too expensive. Can I get a discount or not? Can I get another one and things like that? So you are involved with some haggling. But not so bad. I mean, the merchant want to sell it and you want to buy it. It takes maximum 5 minutes and you will probably get the potato. What about spouse? Well, you meet a girl you like, you meet a boy you like, but that doesn't mean you can get married. Usually it involves long time, several years. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of proud that I get married very quickly, persuading my current wife very quickly to get married to me, but it still took me 2.5 months. The first time I met my wife, the beginning of July, I get married to her mid-September. Same year. Yeah, but still it took much more than buying a potato, which I usually do in a minute. So you have to persuade the potato or persuade your future spouse and convince the potato or convince the spouse that, you're trustworthy and, the relationship with you is okay and things like that. Okay. So where I'm getting at, okay, I might better turn to the next page. So the scholars think the transaction cost has 3 elements. Such cost, such as I said, finding out the future spouse, proper one. Okay? Or finding out the market where you can buy the mart, E-mart, K-mart, where you can buy the potato. That's such cost. Bargaining cost. You have to persuade the merchant to sell the potato. You have to persuade the girl or boy you want to get married to persuade to get married to you. Wow, you have to travel together, you have to eat together, you have to watch movie together. Takes a long time. Maybe when you're dating before you get married, wow, maybe 3 to 5 hours every day you have to meet the girl. Okay, maybe 1 year, 2 years, something like that. What is the enforcement cost? Now you get married. Now you purchase potato. Potato first. You brought the potato to home and you cut it off. And you found out it's rotten inside. Oh my God. What would you do? When I'm recording this, my wife got something delivered to our house. She found out the jar of tomato ketchup is broken. Now she's calling the company, complain, you have to give me a new tomato ketchup because it's all, broken and things like that. Same thing. When you try to make the potato salad, you found out something wrong with the potato, you have to go back to the mart and convince the mart owner it's your potato I purchased, not some other potato, and then you have to refund me or give me other potato and things like that. Not a pleasant task. But anyway, when you agree upon something, then something goes wrong, you have to do it again. Now, you know where I'm getting at with the marriage. Now you found out a perfect spouse and get married. Happily ever after? No, my wife still complain. You promised me to do that after marriage, but you are not doing that. Well, she's true. She's right. But, what can I do? I'm busy. I didn't think that I would be so busy at the time and things like that. I cannot help her and things like that. So, lot of complaint and fighting and let's renegotiate thing. That is enforcement cost. Once you have agreement as a result of negotiation, but then some unexpected things happen and you have to go back to the renegotiation promise and do some haggling. That is enforcement cost. Okay? So all these costs are involved with any negotiation. So in negotiation, as we saw in the rancher and the farmer, if this negotiation is very smooth, no cost, then they will reach agreement, efficient agreement all the time. But then if the transaction cost of negotiation is too high, they cannot do that. Okay? So this, because not only the market, in the legal system, many negotiation happens, okay? But then if this negotiation cost is too high, then negotiation is not possible, so it affects the legal system. In conclusion, market is negotiation. When you are buying and selling in the market, you are trading, and then you have to negotiate. If this cost of negotiation, the transaction cost is small, the market system is possible. Trade in the market would be happening. But if this transaction cost is big, very big, then the trade in the market would be impossible, and we have to choose something other than the free market system. And according to the Ronald Koch, who first thought about this transaction cost, the key element, whether transaction cost would be big or small, hinges on the number of players in the negotiation. If it's a negotiation with the rancher and farmer next to each other, their search cost is small. They know where they live. They can have a nice lunch and talk about it, and they can agree. But if it's involved with like a big power plant and neighboring people, maybe millions of people, they cannot sit together. They cannot have nice negotiation. So the transaction cost would be too big for the market to work. So this transaction cost, in many cases, a deal breaker or deal maker for negotiation, and as a result, key to the free market system. Thank you.